Hey guys, it's Sarah. Today is Friday, December 19th, and I'm going into work for a few hours, and then we will have our first ultrasound today. My husband is taking a half day so that he can go with me, because supposedly you can see a heartbeat at this point, so I wanted him to be there for that, and he wants to be there for that. Um, so I wanted to go on record with my predictions, and then we'll see if I'm right or wrong. Um, my gut tells me that there is only one baby. And if there is only one baby, then it is a girl. If I'm wrong and it is twins, then it's one of each. It's one boy and one girl, and I will deliver by C-section. That's my prediction. So there's plenty of time. I am 6 weeks and 5 days today, so there's plenty of time to prove me right or wrong. Okay, guys, I will see you again later today. Bye.
Okay guys, it's Sarah. I'm back after my little recording that I made this morning predicting how our ultrasound would go today. So, I know you just watched it, but I'm going to recap for my own sake because this has been a really, really long day. My gut told me going into the ultrasound that there was only going to be one. And that if there was one, that it would be a girl. Of course, we can't find that out quite yet, but I'll just tell you that I was wrong. And I want to share, I'm going to talk a lot because I want to share this with you exactly as we experienced it. So I went ahead and told my husband what I was thinking. You know, I didn't want to sound negative, but I wanted to be prepared for if there was only one, and if there were two, then I thought that would be really exciting news anyway. So we went in, and the cool thing that I think always happens with the ultrasound wand is that pretty much as soon as they put it in, like, you see something. So right off the bat, I saw one amniotic sac. But then she moved it around the focus a little bit and she saw the second one. So she goes, well, there's two. And I said, oh my gosh, I was totally wrong because I thought there was only going to be one. And she was like, oh, did you transfer two? And I said, yeah, we transferred two. So I started to, tear up a little bit, and I looked at my husband and he was just smiling like that's exactly what we wanted. We wanted twins. So we were really excited. She wanted to look at my ovaries because, as you know, the stimming process makes them grow. Like, they told me they were the size of a small orange. So she wanted to measure those and make sure that they were going back down to size, and they had. So she said they were back to measuring normally and that they looked normal, so that was all good. So she took a few measurements of my ovaries, and then she went back to look at the babies, and she said, okay, so there's a heartbeat on baby A, and then it took a while to find baby B, but then when she did find baby B, she goes, oh, there's the heartbeat on that one too. And I'm like, you've got really good eyes because I can't see this little heartbeat. And she said, well, we'll zoom in on them and then you can see, you'll see it even better. So she starts to move around to get prepared to zoom in, and my husband says he saw this too, but I didn't because I was getting relaxed. I thought, okay, we've got two heartbeats, I'm just gonna relax. Then she saw a third, and she goes, I think there's three. And I mean, if you could have seen my face, it was like, are you serious? And she goes, oh, I'm serious. And she goes, see, here's baby A, baby B, the first two we were looking at. And then she changed the focus, and then sure as shit, there was an even bigger amniotic sac somewhere else hanging out in there. And I'm going to be honest with you, my initial reaction was, oh, no, no, no. Oh, no. No, that's not what I want. There can't be three. We only transferred two. And she found the baby, and she found the heartbeat, and then I fell in love. So even though 3 is not what we wanted, I just fell in love with them. So one of them split, and she could even tell which one split because the 2 that split were like this, like just right next to each other. And she went ahead and started to go through the usual process of zooming in on each one of them one at a time. And oh God, and she found all of them are growing like at the same pace. They're all about the same size, and they're all so far very healthy. The identical twins have the exact same heart rate of 131, and the third baby C has a heart rate of 128. So they're all really strong and really good. And then it was like, I don't know, like time froze and my life just changed. Like, I went in there hoping to see one, I'm sorry, one heartbeat. And we got to see and hear all 3 of them, and they were all very strong and beautiful. And so, I just was like trying to focus on breathing, like breathe in, girl, and now let the breath out. And just keep breathing, you know, you gotta get through this ultrasound before you can freak out. And it was almost like a jinx, because as soon as she found the third for sure, like almost all 3 of us at the same time went, one of them split. So, then she said, go ahead and get dressed, and we could go sit in a consultation room and wait for the doctor to review our ultrasound and then come in and talk to us. So, our ultrasound took longer than they expected because they weren't expecting 3. So, we ended up sitting in the consultation room, just the 2 of us, with this huge thing of photos that they took from the ultrasound, and we were just going through all of the emotions. All of them. If you can name one, I felt it. And if you think you would have felt it, I felt it. All of them. All of them. So this nurse kept coming in to check on us. Oh, you're still waiting, and can I get you guys a water? And so then I got a water, and I was pretty much able to drink the whole thing, and we were still waiting. And every time the door opened, I kept thinking it would be the doctor, but it wasn't. And so we were in there for a long time, long enough to like hyperanalyze every little photograph, everything that was in the photograph. Here's my new prediction, by the way. The one that split, I predict, is twin identical girls, and the bigger amniotic sac, the one that's all on its own, is a boy. So that's my new prediction, because I was so wrong. And then, okay, so then the doctor comes in, and I didn't know how to read her facial expression. And, you know, hindsight is 20/20. I understand everything now, why she acted the way she did. But I couldn't read her face. I couldn't tell if she was happy or just, like, not happy. So she kind of sat down, and the only thing she said was, "This isn't what we planned." And I said, "Nope." And I said, "I know now that we are high risk." I said, "We're very excited, but we're also very scared." And she said, "I know." So she said, "You know, if you don't mind coming to this location, this hospital has an excellent high risk OB group, and I really recommend that you go to them. And I said, fine, done. Because I've already had a really good experience with the infertility clinic. I'm burping, I'm sorry, that's what I do now. That was rude. So, then, okay, like I said, I understand everything, but she wanted, I think, to give us a heads up. Because we are expecting triplets, we are high risk, and she knew that the high risk OB group was going to bring this up, and she wanted to warn us ahead of time. She knew that they were going to want us to discuss selective reduction, otherwise known as selective abortion. And just to make sure we understood, she said basically you would select one and go from 3 to 2. And then she just looked at me, and I felt like I was supposed to be considering it. Am I supposed to answer her? So I thought I would at least consider it, because I know that you should make decisions rationally. But the more I thought about it, the more I started to have a panic attack. I really did. Because how do you choose? Like, how do you pick one? Because I can't fathom picking one of the identical twins, and I can't get rid of the other one because I already did. I can't even talk. I had already decided that one was a boy, so I was already attached. So I said, I'm sorry, but I can't do that. I can't. And looking back, I think she was just waiting on me to make my own independent decision. She didn't want to influence me one way or the other. So after I said, no, I can't do that, she said, okay. So now I can tell you the good news, because I don't think that you have to do that. I don't think that you should do that. So she said, that's when she told us that all 3 were measuring the same, and they're all exactly where they should be. And then she told me that they think that the embryo split before implantation because they each have their own amniotic sac. They each have their own placenta, or they will. I don't think that's quite developed yet. They still have a yolk sac right now. But they're each going to have their own source of nutrition through their umbilical cord. They each get their own placenta. So if you're going to have an embryo split, that's how you want it to split, because when 2 twins are forced to share a placenta, what inevitably happens is one of them gets more nutrition than the other, and they're fighting. So, you know, I would never wish what we've been through on anyone, but at every single step, if there was an ideal way for something to happen, that's what happened to us. So I'm just overwhelmed by everything right now. I'm very overwhelmed today. Do you want to see their pictures? Okay, this is an extremely long thing, but so we've got, in this first photo you can see all 3 of them, and then I'm going to skip a little bit because then they start focusing on each one at a time. This is where you can see their heart rate. So, like I said, the identical twins were 131. My husband. There's another heart rate. My husband is here next to me. You can say hello again. He's still drinking whiskey. It's been quite a day.
It's only my second one.
I know. Anyway, there's one of them by themselves. The third heart rate. which was 128. And then this is actually a 3D image. I'm gonna try not to make it so glary and glossy. But, you know, at this stage, they just kind of look like sacs. They look like egg sacs. And then, so here's a photo that shows, what the heck, can you even see that? They're so tiny. Anyway, it says baby A, B, and C.
Alpha,
All right.
Bravo, and Charlie.
Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie, says my Marine Corps husband. Okay, so anyway, then we went on a calling spree, or I did. I called everyone that I love and told them
I
because
called 3 people.
because we have been sharing everything on my, you know, regular Facebook page, but I need some time to digest this information. So where we go from here is nothing happens next week. Oh, I forgot one thing. I have a subchorionic hematoma, but it's very small. So they think that it will regress on its own, and it's relatively common early in pregnancy, like 1 in 4 women have one. But if I do see any spotting, they want me to call them. But we won't come back in next week, but the following week we will come in for another scan, and then we will be in the hands of the high-risk obstetrics group. So you got any thoughts you want to share? You're not even a camera. There we go. That's his thoughts on things.
I approve of this message. Camera.
See if we can get Killian on camera.
Say hi. You're gonna have 3 more humans to chew on. Yes. Yes. Yes.
There he goes.
All right, there you go.
All right. Now he wants to play.
Yep.
All right.